Do I have the permission of the Chancellor to commence the convocation proceedings?
Yes, permitted.
This convocation of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University has been called to confer degrees upon the candidates who, in the examinations held for the purpose, have been certified to be worthy of the same. Mr. Chancellor, let me be permitted to present the report. His Excellency, the Governor of Andhra Pradesh and Chancellor of University, Sri Vishwabhushan Harchandan Garu, Chief Guest, Dr. A.K. Srivastava, Member and ex-chairman of Agricultural Scientists Recruitment Board, ICR, New Delhi, esteemed members of the Board of Management and Academic Council, distinguished vice chancellors of the other universities, university officers, graduates and their proud parents, faculty, staff, and students of the university, representatives of the press and electronic media, distinguished guests, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It's my those who could not attend but will be getting degrees in absentia for their hard work. Special congratulations to all medal winners among the students and their parents for the glorious achievements, and meritorious award winners of the faculty of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary. Mr. Chancellor, let me be permitted to administer the oath by the candidates for the degrees. The candidates for the degrees will now stand forward. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that if admitted to the degrees for which you are severely candidates for and for which you have been recommended, you will in your daily life and conversation conduct yourself as becoming members of the university? Let the candidates be now presented.
Tirupati will receive the following 5 gold medals. College of Veterinary Science Tirupati 1979 batch gold medal for securing highest OGP at College of Veterinary Science Tirupati. Sri Naresh Kumar Verma Memorial 1974 batch gold medal for the best outgoing girl student in BVS and AH degree with highest OGP at College of Veterinary Science Tirupati. Dr. V. Pandangarao gold medal for having completed BVS and AH degree with highest GPA in the subject of veterinary anatomy at College of Veterinary Science Tirupati. College of Veterinary Science Tirupati 1959 batch gold medal for having completed BVSc and AH degree with the highest GPA in production subjects like LPM, AGB, Animal Nutrition, LPT and LFP at College of Veterinary Science Tirupati. And College of Veterinary Science Tirupati first integrated batch 1964 gold medal for having completed BVSc and AH degree with highest GPA in clinical subjects like medicine, surgery and gynecology at College of Veterinary Science Tirupati. Many congratulations.
Faculty, officials, and staff of the university, awardees, distinguished guests, dear students, proud parents, representatives of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in the 10th convocation of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University, Tirupati. At the outset, I congratulate all the graduating students and also congratulate parents, teachers, and mentors who joined the pursuit in the success of the students. Dear students, this day of convocation marks the completion of an important phase of your life. You all have worked hard to gain insights and include values to acquire knowledge in your core subjects. On this significant day in your life, you would be experiencing certain joy and happiness to see your perseverance, hard work, and commitment being translated into achievement of your goals and objectives. This is a day of fulfillment of the parents who invested their efforts in educating you to this level. This day is the result of sacrifices of your beloved parents at the cost of their personal happiness and pleasure to make sure that you got the best education that leads to the better future. This day, therefore, belongs to them in equal measure. I also compliment the faculty members of the university who worked hard to impart quality education, to build knowledge, and give a definite direction to your thinking and approach. More than a degree, I'm sure that the knowledge and the values you imbibed here will guide you wherever destiny will take you. During the recent days, the classrooms are undergoing fundamental change all over the world. Digital classroom is found to be the alternative logical step in the field of knowledge sharing and dissemination. We must see how digital classrooms help us to bring down the cost of education, produce and deliver quality lectures to the students, and reach out to maximum students who wish to pursue higher education. I do feel that the academic curricula must be dynamic and must be at par with the institutions in the world and should have a focus on the industry. The National Education Policy 2020 aims to transform India's education system by 2040. The policy proposes the revision and revamping of all aspects of the current education structure, including its regulation and governance, to force a new education system that is on par with the aspirations and objectives of the 21st century education. The fundamental principles of NEP 2020 are access, equality, quality, affordability, and accountability. The policy believes that the education system should develop good human beings with rational thinking, compassion, empathy, courage, resilience, scientific temper, creating imagination, and ethical values. Students are youths of today, are the citizens tomorrow. They are supposed to be the pillars of the nation. Colleges are the place where young persons show the seeds of character. They learn the value of time and develop sense of punctuality, mutual help, and cooperation. Above all, they learn rules of discipline. Strong sense of discipline makes the people cultured and law-abiding. I would like to mention that students can play an important role in improving and strengthening the society. The simple fact is that united we stand and divided we fall. The society is the manifestation of that united existence, and the students are part of the society. So men and women of all ages and all professions should do their best to serve the society. Studying is the main occupation of students, but being youthful and energetic, they can engage themselves in various forms of social work in their spare time and in moments of crisis. Further, I am happy to know that the final year BBSc students of the university during their internship training program are conducting performances evaluation of Raitu Bharasa Kendras of Andhra Pradesh. Further, community service of university level students can cover several aspects of life like adoption of villages and urban slums for intensive development work, carrying out the medio-social surveys, setting up of medical centers, programs of the mass immunization, sanitation drives, adult education programs for the weaker sections of the community, blood donation, helping patients in hospitals, helping inmates of orphanages and the physically challenged, etc. NSS volunteers can perform commendable relief work during natural calamities of emergencies such as cyclones, floods, earthquakes, etc. The NSS students may also involve organizing campaigns for eradication of social evils and popularization of the nationally accepted objectives like nationalism, democracy, social harmony, and development of scientific temper in the country. The Government of India has initiated the Startup India campaign to promote financing for startups and offer incentives to boost entrepreneurship and job creation. I request the graduating students to explore opportunities and become entrepreneurs and create jobs. At this juncture, I stress upon the role of veterinarians in doubling the farmers' income in the rural areas of India. The livestock plays an important role in Indian economy. In India, the farmers maintain different enterprises for their complementary and supplementary incomes and for ensuring sustainable livelihood. After the advent of Green Revolution in late 1960s and economic liberalization in early 1990s, the farmers gradually started focusing on a few livestock enterprises due to several imposing factors, including shrinking farm sizes, fluctuating commodity, and shortage of labor during peak agricultural season. Further, animal husbandry is an integral component of Indian agriculture, supporting livelihood of more than 2/3 of the rural population. The veterinary fraternity has a huge role to play in doubling the farmers' income, and they can guide our livestock farmers to enhance their animal productivity, thereby making the livestock enterprises more profitable by providing them technical, financial, and moral support. The veterinarians are committed professionally and morally to disseminate the knowledge to the community as a whole to improve the quality of life of the small and marginal farmers in rural areas. I am happy to inform that the Andhra Pradesh state is blessed with the potential of diversified water resources, with 974 kilometers coastline, and there is a potential of 1.74 lakhs hectares of brackish water. Andhra Pradesh stood at first place in the fisheries sector in India and contributing 7.4% to the state GDP. This sector is providing employment to 14.5 lakh people directly and indirectly. Considering the importance of fisheries sector, the government of Andhra Pradesh has announced a separate fishery sciences university in West Godavari district. I am very happy to note that the Andhra Pradesh government has signed an MOU with Amul to encourage the milk cooperative societies, especially those run by the rural women, to develop the dairy sector in the state. An additional collection of 22 lakh liters of milk through the mini dairies, which Amul will procure and pay to the dairy farmers. It is good that the scientists of dairy technology of this university are assigning this project to the quality of assessment. Time has come to rejuvenate and recapture the past glory of this country through your character, innovation, and service to society. I can call upon you, each one of you, to take a pledge to make the use of your knowledge for the benefit of the society and humanity at large. Mahatma Gandhi had said, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. So, while concluding, I will tell you, my dear students, after going out of the university, you have a great role to play for the society, the people, and your nation. In spite of the fact that 75 years have passed after the independence, the privileges which the people had expected to get have not yet been made available to them. Because the entire society was to work as a whole, especially you, the students, who will work in different spheres of life. You must look to the society, your people, your nation, and especially the downtrodden people of the society. As you say that we have freedom of speech and expression, have they got any freedom? They are not free to speak everything, in spite of the fact that they are being tortured in the society in different ways. They have not the courage to say. They have no courage to fight for their rights. And therefore, you people, you have to create awareness amongst them. You must stand by them, and you will help them in fighting for their rights as provided under the Constitution of India. So many things are to be done. Recently, you know, the great menace of this COVID-19 pandemic, which had posed the greatest danger to the entire humanity. The state, the country, the society, the people, everybody was afraid of this corona. Nobody knows what will happen. A time came when people think that it has become uncontrolled. Even the developed countries like America, England, and other countries, they are also not in a position to control this COVID-19 pandemic. And in India, we have been successful. Our scientists have started their work. We got 2 vaccines, as you know, and it has been controlled to a great extent. But we need not remain silent. We have a lot to do. We know what have become the first phase. How many lives have been taken in the first phase. And we thought that in the second phase of Corona, it will not be so grave, but it was graver than that. A time came when we thought that we can control it, in spite of massive vaccination all over the country and also in the state. Hospitals were filled up. People are crying for a bed. Many people are approaching in different places, approaching the government, approaching the governor, for a bed only, for saving the life of our children. Please arrange a bed. Bed could not be arranged. This was such a situation. Oxygen was not available. Ventilators, the same thing. It was also not available. Ecosystem, it was rarely available in some places, in some states. It was not at all available in the hospitals. That was the state of affairs. So the nation is struggling. As our chief guest has said, as he given a very enlightened speech about the development of the country in different sectors, especially in agricultural sector, because that is the best sector on which about 70% of the people depend for their living. About agriculture, milk production, etc. He is an expert and he has given his speech. He is a very educated speech. But in spite of all these developments, one thing is there, that is, for the sake of the nation, we can make all sacrifices. The sacrifices which have been made during the freedom fight. We are speaking about Mahatma Gandhi. And what had happened? The entire world was surprised that India is fighting for its freedom with a very novel weapon. Ordinarily, when there is a war for independence, we use all sorts of sophisticated weapons. But our weapon was non-violence. World was surprised. And by this weapon of non-violence, we got the freedom. On the call of Mahatma Gandhi, lakhs of people went to the street, shouting Bharat Mata ki Jai, without caring for the British bullets. And British ultimately thought that it is very difficult to suppress this revolution, this silent revolution, non-violent revolution. They could not crush it. And many people are at that time say that with this call of Mahatma Gandhi will be free. They could not think of it. But they did not know what was the confidence of Mahatma Gandhi. He was confident enough that country must be freed. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he started attacking from the side of Burma. And he did not believe in this non-violent process. He said, we must fight against the Britishers. That was also a method. He is a great son of India. And the spirit of sacrificing for the nation, for the country, for the society, it is an absolute necessity. And I hope you as students getting all this education, You have to work for your country, for the society, and the people who have been neglected for so many years. So that a time now, India is a big power. It is almost, though it has not yet been said to be a developed country, it is a developing country. All statistics have been given by our chief guest. I'm very thankful to him. And you, for your country, for the integrity of your country, and for the sovereignty of the country, you must fight. And as you know, India is one of the greatest country, the greatest democracy, one of the sovereign country, which has a great name in the entire world. And you are proud citizens, proud students of that country. And let us fight for our people and for our nation. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Honorable Governor Garu, thank you very much for the inspiring speech. Now, may I request Honorable Governor of Andhra Pradesh and Chancellor of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University, Tirupati, to receive the memento.